Karen Bonafilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. Welcome. I know I tell you this all the time that I get the best guests, but it is true. I have a fabulous guest today. Her name is Tracey Peffer. Tracey, you want to say hi before I tell about
you? Hi, Karen. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice having you here. So let me tell you a bit about Tracey, and then she's going to talk a lot about herself. She thought that she had life all figured out. She was happily married for 37 years. She had raised her 3 daughters and built a thriving career as a mortgage broker. God, that's a money thing, Tracey.
Yes.
But a series of vivid dreams, premonitions, and undeniable signs and synchronicities from the universe sparked a profound spiritual awakening that changed everything. So we're going to find out what that was. Life has a way of surprising us. The universe sends whispers nudging us toward our true path. And I know you've been getting a lot of whispers lately to do and expand yourself.
Yes, I have. Yes.
But what was the catalyst that you got going you from a mortgage broker to now being a psychic medium?
Right. That's a big switch. Yeah. So I feel like my kids had all left for college, and maybe that was when I had some quiet time. Because if I reflect back now, I realize, of course, I've always had this, but I just wasn't paying attention. But I just knew I was different from other people, but I didn't know how or why. I think that's what we can all relate to. But I get emotional when I talk about this because it's so emotional for me. But so I started dreaming. Like, one of the profound dreams I had was that we were driving in the desert and that there were cars burning, and it seemed very frightening. And I woke up my husband. A lot of this would happen at 4 a.m. So I woke up my husband and I said, "Honey, do you remember driving in the desert and passing this accident with cars burning?" And he was like, "No, never happened." But it felt so real. And so the next day I called my kids and I said, "Do you guys remember?" Because we used to go to Rancho Mirage all the time and just hang out in the desert. That was our fun weekend getaway. And they said, "Nope, never happened." Well, 2 days later, we were scheduled to go to Las Vegas. We would take my kids, my daughters, I have 3 girls. When they turned 21, we would take them to Las Vegas to celebrate their 21st. And for some reason, I felt like I needed to leave like at 6 a.m. So trying to get everyone up and out the door at 6 a.m. was not easy. And you know how that is, dealing with 3 girls. And so we get up, we get on the road, and we get there at 11 a.m. And we get to the hotel desk and they say, "We're so sorry, but the hotel rooms are not ready. You can come back around 3 o'clock." And of course, they're looking at me like, "Why did you race to get us
thanks,
here?"
Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. And then a few minutes later, my mom called and she said, "Is everyone okay?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." She said, "Well, where are you?" I said, "We're in Las Vegas." And she said, "Oh my God, thank goodness. The 15 freeway is shut down. That's what we would take to get there. There are cars burning and people are running for their lives." I said, "What?"
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And so I just actually chalked that up to coincidence. Didn't think anything. Coincidence.
Tracy, are you kidding?
Know.
You had a premonition.
That was a I didn't learn until a couple of years later, actually, that was a premonition. But it would continue. So then I had a dream that my left front tire and door fell off of my car. And so 4 a.m., again, wake up call. And my husband goes out the next day. He checks the tire. He checks the door. He says, "Everything is fine. I don't know what's going on with you." Head to work. On my way home, at the bottom of the hill, there's a car missing its left front tire and door. I'm like, "That's weird."
That is bizarre.
Yeah. A couple days later, I dreamt that I was driving to the gym, and in the gym parking lot, I collided with another car. So I, of course, 4 a.m., wake him up. He says, "Well, when you drive to the gym in the morning, just drive slowly into the parking lot." So I drive slowly into the parking lot. And just as I get in, 2 cars collide head on.
Oh my gosh.
And so
oh my gosh.
This weirder is what is happening. And it wasn't until I met someone in my networking group through my mortgage business who was a hypnotherapist. And I would explain these things. And she said, those aren't coincidences. These are called premonitions. And that's kind of what started my journey in really realizing, oh, wow, I should really check this out.
Yes.
So that's what I did.
So what did you take to for your journey once you decided, okay, I'm going to find out what's going on here?
Yeah. So my journey was a lot of starts and stops, ups and downs. It was a bit of a roller coaster. I feel like I traveled the world in search of answers because the mortgage broker in me was looking to dot my I's and cross my T's and explain this. And yet it couldn't be explained, you know? So it was just something I had to trust. And I also felt like I should tell the whole world this is happening. And my husband's like, wait. No, you're going to think you're crazy. You're going to lose all your mortgage clients. Like, let's keep this on the down low for a little bit. But I went to like West LA and I took classes at the Colby Rebel Spirit Center. Took classes with Lisa Williams, with Paul Jacobs, flew to Seattle. I was heading all over the place. And I had one actually pretty fun story. I went to Colby to one of her classes, and you know, the organizer and the planner and me arrived early, got there first person in the class, sitting front and center, and in walks this little lady. I was the first person in there, and this little lady comes and sits right next to me. And I thought, that's strange. There's a whole bunch of empty seats here, but she sat right next to me. And I had just finished reading the book called The Priest and the Medium. And it was about Anne Gaiman, who was a psychic that lived in Lilydale. So I had written on the top of my notebook, so I was documenting everything that was happening. I put Lilydale because that was something that I wanted to explore and maybe go visit. And so this little lady introduced herself. Her name was Ellen. I found out whoever you sit next to is who you are partnered with. So I'm partnered with Ellen, and we're learning how to find our inner compass. And before she would even ask the question, I would say, yes, no. I just already knew the answers. And the teacher, Colby, comes over and she says, wait. Just slow down. Just let her finish her question. I'm like, I don't need to let her finish. I already know if it's a yes or a no. Ellen thought that was pretty funny. So Ellen actually said, I'll ask you in my, just silently, and you can nod, yes or no. You know?
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, she was hilarious. Anyway, so this went on for a couple of hours. And then at lunchtime, she got up and she said, well, I have to leave. I have to get back home. And she handed me her card and she said, but I would love for you to come visit me. I said, oh gosh, well, that's kind of interesting. Okay. I said, well, where do you live? And of course she said, Lilydale. Yeah. And it took me about 2 weeks to look up Ellen, and I find out she's the White House correspondent to the last couple of presidents, and she indeed lived in Lilydale.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding. I actually wrote about this in one of my stories called Finding My Inner Compass. So I reached out to Ellen. She messages me right back, and we plan a trip. So I planned my visit up to Lilydale to see Ellen. And I was blown away when I opened the door and she's greeting me. And inside her little hallway area is pictures of all of these famous people like the Dalai Lama and Oprah Winfrey and all the presidents. I'm just like, wow.
She met with all those people?
They were all friends of hers. They were all people that she knew. She was very well connected.
Tracey?
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's a great synchronicity.
It felt like such a magical weekend. And it really inspired me to feel like I could do this. Here she was, a White House correspondent, and she was also an intuitive. Like I could live these two lives. And when I was there, I said, oh, I just read, the book, The Priest and the Medium. Do you know Anne Gaiman? And she said, yes, Anne was my friend. And she had just recently died, but she said her daughter is here. Would you like to go see her house and meet her daughter? So we went to her house and met her daughter. And yeah, it was such a fun weekend. Yeah. And then I came home, and then the doubts set in. And I thought, I can't do this. I'm a mortgage broker. I can't. I just can't. I can't do this. So I kind of just set it aside and continued on my mortgage career. But when you're in this realm that if you're supposed to be doing this, there's this little nudge is just not going to go away.
Exactly.
So I kept feeling this tap, 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 hello, we're still here. We're waiting.
Very patiently.
Very patiently. And then the
Mhm.
next crazy thing that happened was I traveled to Egypt, and I was in the middle of the Sahara Desert in 2019. And while I was there, I was in an alabaster factory, and an Egyptian came up to me and said, "We met before." And I said, "No, never met before." And I had actually just been to Colby Rebel Center, and I had taken a past life course with Mira Kelly, and she was amazing. So I just learned about past lives. I had never thought of that before. He said, "Well, do
Really?
you believe in past lives?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? I had just taken this course with Mira Kelly, and now I have this man coming up to me in the middle of the Sahara Desert." And then he tapped me on the forehead and he said, "You're a healer like me. Why aren't you using your gifts?" And I thought,
Don't you love that?
yes, yes. So that is how it continued until I was ready to just
Ooh,
take off and take
I have chills.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I have books full of stories like that. So yeah.
Okay. That can be a story that you can write.
Yes.
Everybody's life is fascinating, and that will resonate with a lot of people if you put that together in a book too.
Thank you. That's a great suggestion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were set as a mortgage broker. You know, you had your family, your kids were grown. You didn't need to change anything. Everything was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you still do mortgage broking?
I still do mortgages. And the funny thing is when I really start to leap off into the spiritual world, the mortgage business gets busy again and calls me back. And so I feel like I can do both. Actually, I do feel like I can do both because it's like I'm living two worlds. But I think of like my son-in-law, Anurag, is a physician, and that's what he's doing during the day. And at night he's a DJ. It's like we can have two passions.
Oh, wow.
We can have two passions. We can totally do that. So
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And your husband supports you?
Yes. In the beginning, he was very hesitant and but it turns out, what I have discovered is that people in this community, they've either had a traumatic childhood, which I had, they've had a near-death experience, or it runs in both sides of the family. And my husband actually almost died when he was a little boy. He had pneumonia, and he is actually incredibly psychic itself. We've come to find out our whole family. It runs in my family also. And so my girls are also incredibly intuitive. So it's kind of funny how this all sort of came into my awareness, but now we realize we all have this ability. So I think anyone does. Anyone can tap into your superpowers, is what I call them. Yeah.
Well, and they can see you and you taking off, and they can start working on their gifts also.
Right. And I don't think any of them are ready to do it at the level I'm ready. I'm doing it at, but I do feel like they, I said at the very least, you can use it when you're, in your jobs and talking to coworkers, and, tap into your little inner compass and find out, does this feel aligned or does it feel right? Because you know how that is. If you're living a life that's aligned and everything is kind of working in your favor, and you're kind of like following these signs and synchronicity, everything just flows. But if you're not living a life that's aligned, like things just seem out of sorts or out of sync, or just everything seems harder, And so it's like, that's kind of a sign from the universe. It's kind of just stop, take a moment, sit back, and just kind of reflect and, okay, where do I want to go now? Something is not working.
And some people won't do that. They will just continue down the same road, no matter how many times they get those messages.
Right.
So kudos to you.
Thank you.
You said you would get these visions, premonitions at 4 a.m.
Yes. 4 a.m. wake-up calls.
Did you ever explore the meaning of that time?
That's a great question. I did not explore the meaning of that time, but I'll tell you, one of the fun 4 a.m. wake-up calls I had was from my grandparents, and it was a tap on my shoulder, and they just said, it's time. My grandpa died when I was little. My grandma died when I was in my 40s. And I thought, honey, my grandparents are here. And they said, it's time. And he's like, time for what? I don't know. And a million things are racing through at 4 a.m.
Tell me.
Yes. And then I realized, oh my gosh, my oldest daughter, Natalie, was expecting her firstborn. and she was due anytime now. I said, I think it's Natalie. Natalie. And he's like, well, it's 4 a.m. Don't wake her up. I said, you're right. I'm not going to wake her up. So I waited until about 8 and I called her. I said, Natalie, how are you doing? How are you feeling? She said, Mom, I was going to call you at 4. I was having contractions and her daughter was born later that day. So,
are you kidding?
So I don't know the meaning of the 4 a.m. calls, but I know I need to listen to them. That's what I've learned.
Well, you know what I would do? I would Google spiritual meaning of 4 o'clock a.m. and see what it says.
Yeah, I will do that, Karen. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do it when we get off.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to take a little side note because I want to tell about you because my experience with you.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Rose has this spiritual church on her channel, and I love to tune into it. And Tracey was a guest in one of the episodes. When I get on those, I don't expect anything. I don't, because I get a lot of messages from my own, and then I get people that will tell me messages. So Tracey was on and she started talking, and I knew Jennifer was blown away by your abilities because you just went boom, 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 boom. And we're talking to people. And then she reached out to me, and the archangels were there giving me a message.
Yes.
And are you kidding me? Do you know how that affected me to know that I had that support? And it was wonderful.
I love that.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you need to go back and go back, because Jennifer was going, oh no, Tracey, keep going. You're doing great.
I know. I wasn't sure how much time I was supposed to. I'm not very good at these online live things. In person, it's a whole nother story. But yes, that actually 2 days before that service, you know, you as you do, you just worry, like, is anyone going to come through? And I always ask for a profound message. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to just spew information. I don't want a profound message that's going to make an impact on the person sitting before me. So that's what I do ask for. And then 2 days before, people started showing up, all these people from that had already crossed over. And I'm like, okay, I feel like there's going to be plenty of people here to give messages. And then when it started, it was like, well, who do I start with? Well, there's a lot of people. But for you, I remember, because I don't remember a lot of what I say, but I do remember my awareness shifting upward. And
Oh, really?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Right now,
Oh, gosh.
I'm angels. So yeah. I get chills.
Cheers this whole,
yeah.
chills this whole time, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I know when I'm connecting soul to soul, it's psychic. I know when somebody's here with me, they're about here, but the angels are up here. And that's what happened.
Remember the date you did that? I'm sorry. Do you remember the date that you did that service?
I don't remember. No, I'm not good with dates. Sorry.
Okay. I think I need to find that again.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And Tracey, you doubted yourself.
I still doubt myself. You know, it's crazy. I feel like when I started, I felt like superwoman, and I wanted to tell the world, and I was just so excited. And then it was just like, what am I thinking? I'm just Tracey Peffer. What am I thinking, you know? And so I took a lot of classes, and I felt like some were really inspiring and some were just kind of like, they just weren't resonating with me. So one thing I am passionate about is trying to help other people dive into their abilities and to not doubt themselves, you know, because it's just, there's a lot of outside noise and interference that can lead to doubt. And if you're sitting with someone that maybe they don't resonate, or, you know, but then I've also learned that just deliver the message. I'm here. I'm the messenger. I'm here to deliver the message.
And don't doubt.
Don't doubt. Trust and surrender. And I used to write that everywhere on my laptop, in my bathroom, in my car. Trust and surrender, and you will be guided. And boy, if you can just really lean into that, you are guided. Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you. Trust is one of my main messages that I get all the time.
I love that. That.
So do you offer classes?
I do. So I do a psychic workshop, and it's like a 3-hour workshop that I came up with. And it's basically just to kind of introduce people that are brand new, have never done anything before, but I have a curiosity and kind of feel like they have this nudging. And I just kind of go through the mechanics of it, because I feel like just learning just the basic mechanics is key to kind of setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
And some of the mechanics are, what are the clairs? So we talk about the clairs and how the information comes. And then we talk about breathing, because I feel like breathing and connecting with your breath and really feeling your body is really important. And then we also talk about meditation and different ways to meditate. People will say, I can't meditate. I've tried and I can't. Well, meditation, it's a muscle in your brain, and you can train your brain. It's trainable. So you can meditate while you're walking. You can kind of meditate while you're driving, even though you can't close your eyes, but you can kind of get yourself in a little space, but you can meditate anywhere. So, and then we just dive in, we just practice. And it just brings me such joy when I see someone that has never delivered a message before connect with someone, and that person sitting in front of them says, yes, you're correct. And they're like, I am. They're just blown away. And it's so fun. So yes.
So you do a lot of, is this through Zoom or some kind of format?
The Zoom, it's a 3-hour, which is can seem like a long time, but for me, it goes really fast. And then after you take the Zoom class, it's $44. I just want to offer it just to help people out. And then every other week we meet as a group and practice. And so anytime you want to come join us and be a sitter, Karen, you're welcome to be a sitter, but people are blown away by this person that's brand new, just learning, and information that they can deliver. So it's really fun.
Yeah, please invite me. I would love to be a sitter.
Yeah, I will definitely invite you.
I did that for somebody else, and then I kept notes of what everybody said so I could give them feedback, what was correct and everything. So yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And $44, are you kidding me?
I know it. I obviously in my mortgage business, that's where I'm making my money and my income. So this is just, for me, is my way to give back. And I know it's my path and my purpose and my soul's mission is to help others on their journey. So
I would also look up the significance of 44. With the I have the angel number book. So
oh my gosh, I've been getting those angel numbers like every time I pick up my phone. It's been 1111, 222, 333, 4. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Lately, it's been happening a lot. So
and those are all messages for you too.
Yeah.
Nothing's random. Nothing's coincidental or happenstance. It happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Just like what we discussed earlier when we had to cancel and we finally got together.
Right.
This was the perfect time to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So when people come to you and they feel like, oh, I can't do this, do they pretty much walk out feeling, hey, I can do this?
You're talking with the class.
Yes, with the class.
Yes, absolutely. They come away with it. They text me and just say, I was blown away tonight. I cannot believe that, this information that I said, resonated. And what's crazy too is I'll break them out into breakout rooms. So they'll be in like 6 different breakout rooms, and the same message will be delivered in different rooms to the same persons because you switch it up. And so, like, for example, the other day, somebody said, I'm seeing a cabbage. Like, that's just because I say, just describe what you're seeing. Just describe it. You're not trying to, decipher it, read into it. Just describe what you're seeing. So seeing a cabbage. And then in another breakout room with the same person, they saw a cabbage too. And it's like, that's just so random, And this cabbage was significant because this person had a garden. She was growing vegetables, and she was also eating a lot of cabbage because she was having some stomach issues.
Oh my gosh.
You just can't make this stuff up. So
no, you can't. Well, I think you might want to consider more classes to move people on.
Yes, for sure.
And then you do psychic and mediumship readings for people?
I do. So if you're local, I'm here in Redondo Beach. So if you're local, people can come to my house. I've set up a healing room, and I have a 0 gravity chair, and I have this really magical fountain that is based on numerology. It's made out of quartz from this artist in Mexico. My kids got it for
Look
me.
at you.
Yeah, so I start people in this room because
Uh-huh.
people, I have found that the one thing that resonates with all of them before they come is they have this fear, or they're nervous. They're afraid I'm going to tap into their deep, dark secrets or tell them all the things that are wrong with them. And it's like, no, it's not like that. It's more of a
Oh my
profound exchange and enlightenment. It's something that's going to help you move forward. So
Mhm.
starting in the room, and I put them in there for about 10 minutes. I play some magical music because I think music is so important. And then when they come out, I don't tell them this, but when they come out, they're like, you know, when I was in there, I kind of set my intention. So they're already kind of setting themselves up for success, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so then when they come before me, they're ready to receive. I said that's all you have to do is be open and ready to receive. And that's how you'll get the best message. So
And you would put everyone at ease so much that way.
yes, they feel comfortable. They feel relaxed. They feel like, okay, this isn't so scary anymore. Yes. And then I can do a psychic or mediumship reading or a combination of both. And then sometimes I have done in my zero gravity chair, I've also done some healings, which have been really profound. I have found that I can see your chakras. So
You can.
I can see chakras. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I start with the feet and we ground together, and then I go to your root chakra and I can see if it's open or closed. And it's so interesting. The other day I had someone and her root chakra and her heart chakra were really tiny. And then her sacral chakra was enormous. It was like off balance. Anyway, so yeah, so I help I see sometimes where the chakras are just completely just clogged, just jammed, just too much clutter. So I help kind of move and clear that. People will see me that they during the healings can feel the colors or see colors, or they'll feel the shift. A lot of tears happen, kind of just releasing things they've been hanging on to. But yeah, that's kind of a fun thing that I do as well. So it's very, very profound as well. Yeah.
So should we be worrying? Should we be thinking about, making sure our chakras are, up to
Oh my
sync
gosh.
or
Yeah.
something?
I balance my chakras at least once a week. I have a great 10-minute meditation to help balance your chakras. And I do think it's important. You need to keep yourself, especially in this business, keep yourself grounded and keep yourself, balanced. I think it's really important. So if you want afterwards, I can do a Zoom call with you and help you in a guided chakra meditation. Yeah.
I think that would be lovely. I
Yeah.
think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
May I share that, or is that something not to be shared?
Yeah, you can share it. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay
Yeah.
if you say
Yeah.
no. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because we might be able to incorporate that into
Oh, I
this.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you can tell me no.
Yeah,
You
no,
can say, no,
absolutely.
this is my gig and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that.
Yeah. No. No, it's no, this is no secret. And chakras have been around forever. It used to be popular, I think, in like the 70s and 80s, and then they kind of got away from the shot because that was kind of what people talked about was balancing their chakra. But I feel like it's more important now than it ever has been. We're all looking for ways to heal. We're all looking for ways to stay grounded and balanced. And anything that you can put in your toolbox. That's why I tell my students, anything that you can put in your toolbox to help you on this journey, do it. Do it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to tell you, I think you're going to get a lot of interest from everything you're saying because everything just resonates so well. Yeah. And I know the links will be listed so people can get a hold of you too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And if you're going to clean our chakras, and everybody's going to like that also. So Tracey, quit doubting yourself. Oh my God, stop it right now. I mean it. Oh gosh. Okay. Tell me some more. I want to make sure I hit everything that you want to talk about too.
Okay. Yeah, I would say so. One of the things that I tell my students, because I feel like I get a lot of people that are brand new, wanting to tap in, but just not sure like where to start or how to begin. Right. And I tell them to think of it like you're an athlete preparing for like a swim meet, or you're, for me, my mortgage broker, preparing to head to work, you do some preparation in your mind, you do some preparation. So set yourself up for success. So, because sometimes people will sit before me in the Zoom class and they'll just say, oh, I had a really bad day and I'm this and I'm that. And it's not going to be good tonight. I'm like, oh, no, hang on. Just hang on. Let's just let the day go, So it's you're going to kind of like talk yourself into this success. But I do use some tools. So I don't know if you can see this necklace. It's a, can you see that?
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a Vogel crystal. So I do wear that. And then I also have like a little Vogel clear quartz healing wand that I use.
What do you I can't understand the word you're saying. Vogel?
Vogel, V-O-G-E-L. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the way that it's cut that it attracts energy. So this is what I use. Yeah.
Oh, it attracts energy?
Attracts energy. Yeah. And Dr. Vogel was an IBM scientist that realized that if you cut quartz in a certain way, that it would bring energy to you. So that's the importance of that.
So do I have a Vogel crystal?
Yes, that looks like a Vogel crystal.
I do?
Yeah.
How about this one? I don't think this one.
No. So yeah, so see how mine is like, it's very, very specific in the cut. Very specific.
Yeah.
That, yeah. And so you can actually go on to the same with this necklace. The cuts are very specific cuts.
Should I be carrying this around with me?
I like to carry my crystals around. I love crystals. Yeah.
Well, since I don't have it on my, I don't have a necklace.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah. And then I also use some frankincense. I just kind of like to put that on me, and that just kind of alerts my mind and my soul that, okay, I'm ready for this work. I'll light some incense. And then I also have with me, so when I was in Egypt and I met the Egyptian, he gave me this scarab. And so I like to take that with me because that kind of brings me, to that moment. So anything that you can do that kind of gets you in alignment with what it is that, you're about to do, I feel like that's helpful. And then
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. And then the next thing is connecting to your breath. So connecting to your breath is crucial. Just breathing. So I don't know if you want to take a moment and we can just breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm focusing on my breath
nose,
right now.
Out through your mouth.
Yeah.
In through your nose. Out through your mouth. And just notice that when you're breathing, just kind of notice where your breath goes. And just notice when you inhale, your chest expands. And then when you exhale, like just where does that breath go when you exhale?
It's very calming.
It's very calming. So you're kind of setting your brain up. So if you can spend a few minutes before just breathing, you're kind of setting your brain up to, okay, I'm in this relaxed state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the next thing we do is we focus on our heart space. And we send love and gratitude to ourselves. I just posted on Instagram about gratitude, and I think I had almost 400 views in a matter of an hour. I thought, what? Okay, so people can resonate. So yeah, just be grateful. Be grateful for showing up and being here. Mm-hmm. And if you just really breathe into your heart space with that gratitude, and you can kind of see your heart kind of grow. That's how I feel what happens with my heart. It just kind of like starts to grow. Mm-hmm. It just overflows with gratitude. And then what I tell them to do is then I tell them to just send that out. Send that gratitude out. And send that
I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch your Instagram today.
Yeah.
And make you my friend.
Yeah. And then what you do is then you just become aware of the space around you. So if you can start to become aware of the space around you, kind of just open yourself up to this whole new world. That's kind of, those are some keys. Yeah. There's more to it, but
explain that. Be aware of that space around you. Explain to the audience.
Yeah. So I feel like, feeling. People are afraid these days.
Sorry. They heard something.
Somebody's there. So people,
I didn't hear what you said. I just heard them screeching.
Yes. Okay. So feeling, like becoming aware of your feelings and how your body is feeling And then you can feel when there's other energies around you. So I feel like if you just really take a moment, and when I do the meditations in my class, I don't like to use any music. We just like to use silence, but I encourage them to kind of just feel into the space that's around them. And if you can start to feel that space that's around you, that's when the magic starts to happen. Like that's when you just start, oh my gosh, there's angels and there's guides and there's loved ones that have been with you and are with you. But most of us just go about our day and don't even notice it. But if you can start to feel into that space, that's when the magic really starts to happen.
That should be your tagline. That is perfect. It's beautiful.
I love that. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Tracey, you are just wonderful. You seriously are. I'm so glad I've met you.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah. Now I want to make sure that I've covered everything before we say goodbye. And I know we're going to do a little meditation too.
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh, Tracey. Seriously, cool. So, I keep telling my audience I get the best people and everybody is just awesome. Now, did I get everything that you wanted to talk about today?
I think we did. Yes, I think we did. I told a few stories. Oh gosh, yeah. I feel like this world is so magical. If I could say anything to, your audience that's listening and that they have an interest in this, I would just say, just tap in, just dive in, just take a leap of faith and just see what happens, and your whole world is going to change. And it's
for the better.
For the better.
For the better.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
You're tapping into the heavenly realms.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It just doesn't get any better than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tracey, thank you so much. Seriously. And I want you to take your own advice.
Okay, I will, Karen. Yes. But I think having doubt and being humble, I think that's okay.
Humility is perfect.
Yeah, because we're not God. People will say, well, tell me what's going to happen in the next 10 years. And I just say, I'm not a fortune teller and I'm not God, and I can just deliver whatever message I'm being told to deliver,
right.
But we all have free will. So
yeah. Wonderful. Okay, Tracey, thank you so much for coming on. And we might have to have you come back again.
Sounds great. I would love to.
Thank you.
Okay.